welcome back everyone to the Working Class Revolt, and today I want to talk about what for many is a very touchy subject, and that is because there is a vote in the House of Commons on the 29th of November after a Labour backbencher brought a motion forward to have assisted dying legalised for the first time in British history. Now, many people have very personal beliefs on this. A lot of us have seen family members pass away in horrific circumstances where we probably thought it would be kinder for something like this to take place. But I want to give you today Nigel Farage's views on this, speaking in the GB News, and also my own views on it, and I'd like you to comment and please let me know what you think. Now, the reason that this has come along all of a sudden, I'm not quite sure. It didn't seem to be anything on the agenda. The Labour coming up to the general election, and the Labour Party to me don't seem the most kind-hearted of political parties to bring something about, because they don't want to see people in pain and suffering. Now, that might be me using my bias against the Labour Party, but I just don't see it occurring, nurturing Labour Party. So my question is, why are the Labour Party doing this? And I think it simply comes down to costs. I think that when people get to that point in their lives, it costs the state, the NHS, a lot of money. And I think they're thinking they're going to save a lot of money by basically putting people out of the misery and not being a cost on society. So that's my cynical beliefs on it. You may have different beliefs. But I want to read to you now what Nigel Farage says on GB News. And the headline starts with, Farage will not vote for assisted dying bill, as he admits a huge fear that gives him shivers. Nigel Farage will not vote for the assisted dying bill, he has confirmed on GB News. Speaking to Adam Cherry, the Reform UK chief said it would take a lot of convincing for him to change his mind. As MPs are set to debate on legalising assisted dying in the Commons on the 29th of March. But seeing how assisted dying is carried out in other countries like Canada is enough to dissuade Nigel from backing the proposal. And that really is the same reason that I'm against this proposal. So for anybody that doesn't know, there's been a lot of controversy in Canada. There's been a couple of high profile cases where two people in particular was suffering financially and couldn't get housing adequate for their illness, so chose assisted dying instead. And that assisted dying bill will come as an assisted suicide for people who believe they're a burden on the state and they just simply don't have enough money to live healthy lives, or they may feel like they're a burden on family members, and this is at a time when their mental health will be lower than anything. And it comes to one big question for me, that ask yourselves this: do you trust your government, whether that's Labour or Conservatives, enough to believe that this is all above board, it's come forward for the right reasons, and people the Labour Party and the government genuinely just want to help people? Now, if you believe that and you're right, then maybe this bill should be getting voted through. But if, like me, in the pit of your stomach, you believe that there may well be something sinister going on here, then I think it's a law that we do not pass. And I understand there'll be people out there who have watched a loved one suffer. There may be people who are suffering right now which wish this would get passed, and I fully understand where then people are coming from. We all think from our own experiences, don't we? But please let me know what you think. What do you think about what Nigel Farage says? Because he's seen what's happening in Canada, where many people believe it's being abused and being a way of basically getting rid of poor people who might be a burden on the state. Do you believe that the Labour Party are bringing it forward because they believe that by bringing this forward it will save money on the NHS? Because we've seen quite a lot of ludicrous headlines come out over the last few weeks. We had the Health Secretary talking about how they're going to bring fat pills out to give to people to lose weight, so then they go back to work and it saves money on the NHS. So it seems like they're looking at the NHS, realising that it's It's wasting money by the day, millions and millions of pounds, and they're thinking of ways of how they can save money. And of course, with all governments and councils and civil services, they will never look and realise that they're wasting money because they're using private companies for the equipment, private companies for the food, private consultants. They have 10 times more middle managers, more chiefs than Indians, but they never look at that, why they're wasting money. Instead, they look at it's always cutting frontline or cutting the service that you get from that system. So it wouldn't surprise me if 1 minute, in fact I'd go one step further, I truly believe that the Labour Party are trying to bring this bill out. Keir Starmer's saying he will give a free vote, trying to wipe his hands with it because he knows how controversial it is. But I truly believe this is a way for them to look at saving money. So when somebody is at the end of their life, but they could live for another 3 to 6 months and they need a lot of money spending on them, a lot of medication, a lot of one-on-one care, the government can simply help them with assisted dying and it will save that money on the NHS. And that is a very, very cynical, evil way of looking at life. But I think that's what we've got with this government. And isn't it funny that when people go to the ballot box, you're always told that by voting the left, you're going to vote the lovely, caring, the morally right party, and anything remotely to the right is the evil people who are going to shut down privatise the NHS, they're going to do this, they're going to do that. But the powers to be always use a left-wing government when they want to bring these things into power. And the reason they do that is because everybody's eyes are on the right-wing government. They won't get away with it. But the left-wing governments get away with it more because it's not expected. Just like how the NHS was first ever privatised in the UK under Tony Blair. But please let me know your thoughts. Are you for or against it? And what do you think the motives behind this are? Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. And finally, please like, share and subscribe.